not to waste any time, here's part 3. I'm really ripping these off. I'm going to take a break after this, and I want to talk about this. You need to hydrate. It's very important all the way through the year. I can't explain. We're 90% water, and the element that we need is clean, clear drinking water, distilled or spring water, reverse osmosis, and what I do is I'm using an herb for detox. This time of year, as we do, I like to do my herbal cleanses and my detoxes in the spring and the fall. These are good times to let go of old ways and old things. And what I left you with before was the altar, and the idea is to let go of the old and bring in the new of the season, but also the balancing, because in Libra we have the scales, so it's important to balance. You have to balance your chakras, and you start at the bottom and work your way up. So the initial chakra, your base chakra, and work yourself all the way up. And I mean, by doing that, work and heal and discipline and work and study what these chakras are. What I do for healing and what I teach people to do is spiral from the base of the spine and start low and work your way up in a clockwise and go above your head, just like I'm doing just there. I'm either doing that with somebody else or I'm doing this on myself. Excuse me. I'm not allergic, but there is ragweed out there. So it could be tickling my nose, or it could just be dust. I've got the door open. It's a beautiful day. The energy's good. The progressed moon today is, I believe it's still Scorpio. I didn't check before I talked to you. I can feel Sagittarius gearing up. So it might be going into it. I wear black because I like to. It's a strong energy, and my progressed moon is in Scorpio. So anytime somebody is a birth Scorpio, has a Scorpio rising, a lot of it in their chart, I have a lot of it there. I have a lot in the 8th house. And to let you know about astrology, again, go check it out. Go study it and study numerology. Study all of this. Study the recondite art studies. Study, and that is the hard to understand studies of the universe, of life. Osho's book of the secrets, the Kundalini, what I was telling you about the spiraling, we have a DNA spiral. When we are born, our spiral is large, and we come down and we spiral down. But we are on the other side, so it's the reverse. But with me, it's clockwise. So with you, on this earth, things run clockwise in that motion, our DNA spiral. And then we are in our body. Until we draw our first breath, our soul has not entered completely into the body. Then it's set. You're alive when you draw your first breath. When you spiral out of your body, when you're dying and you're drawing your last breath, it goes back out like this. But when you see it on the other side, when you're dead, it's counterclockwise because it's like a reverse negative. The other side is the exact opposite of here. So it's just in the next dimension, heaven, it's 4 feet above the ground. So I'm trying to give you a lot of information about this, about what you're working with and working on. Enlighten yourself. This is a time and period of enlightenment that you need to get used to what you're working on or working with in your life, in your world. You know, get into what you need to and what God has planned, because the goal is December of 20th, 21st, and even beyond. Some people do a 3-day ceremony. Some people do ceremonies for a week. Whatever you have time to do. And the spiritual candles, the ones that are in the glassed containers, the long ones, and they usually have a picture of Jesus or not, or Mary or Blessed Mother, or Blessed Mother, or with Jesus or a cross. These are usually Catholic candles or holy candles. It's in the grocery store at Myers. It's in the from Mexico. They're the Mexican candles, the Hispanic candles, because that's what they burn, and that's where they put them. I guess they get them from Mexico. They're imported foods, and that's where I can get my candles. In the state of Michigan that I know of, and around South Lyon, Michigan, and around this area. So I live in around Detroit. I don't live downtown Detroit, but I live within the 400 miles of Detroit. The ring of Saturn's around Detroit. It's hard to live here. It's a very heavy place. Those of us that live here have a heavier energy. We tend to gain more weight, put on more weight, and have more health problems than anybody else in this country. And I mean, it's a negative, hard place to live. You've heard hard things about it, but it's hard for people to rise up out of their problems. When people do, this is a hard-working community. I'm here because this is where my family lives and where people really, really need me out here, and it's where I've done my best work and where I burned most of my karma quickly, because it was a very hard place to survive and to stay healthy. And you come here to when you have a lot of Saturn in you, and you're here to learn your karma, and you're able to become stronger, and then you stay, because, or if you've left, you come back, because this is a very, very holy place once it's transmuted. If you have an area that has a Saturn mark on it, once it's like your life. So people with a heavy karma have a Saturn mark. You have the finger of God on you, but it's not an easy life. So if we can do it here, if it can be done here, it can be done in some of the lighter areas around the world. Certainly Tibet is more heavenly and easier than the Metro Detroit area. And places in Arizona and certain spiritual places, they're very divine, but they don't have, certainly the jobs are here. There's the car companies, and the jobs are coming back to Michigan. But there's a lot of hardworking people and a lot of prosperity through hard work, resurrection, and transformation. So I want to do a shout out to Detroit, Michigan for its resurrection of Detroit, and for the people who live around here and who honor Detroit and live in Michigan and believe in Michigan even if you don't live here. It's been a hard place to live around, and I have not left, so I stay here, and I honor the area, and I honor where I'm at. Now, in South Lyon, Michigan, it's definitely, you're going to say, okay, Reverend Marilyn, that's a beautiful town. It is beautiful here. I don't live that close to Detroit. I live in the southeastern part of Oakland County. I don't live in Wayne County, but it's still within the radius where Ann Arbor is a cool town. That's certainly a nice place that I love to go. And a shout out to Ann Arbor, Michigan. Yay. It's like mini California. It's fun. Detroit's great too. It's getting really beautiful and changing. And why? Because of 2012 transformation. Even places like Detroit and different places in the third world countries, you're going to see different changes. And I'm not likening Detroit to the third world country, but negatively, some people have been rude and liken it to a war zone. And okay, fine, you know. Sometimes my life has felt like when I've, I think the economy was likened to a war zone, the world economy, and its collapse after, 9/11. and I want to do a shout out to all my friends there. And I'm going to stop for right now and do part 4. Namaste.